I just came across a disturbing video from the dark web that shows these creatures that look like they came out of a damn Dr. Seuss book. And this video was posted anonymously, so we don't know where exactly this was filmed at, but I do have a theory for where it could be. Now, we already know that most of these mythological creatures were killed in our circle during the Middle Ages, so most of them fled probably to one of these gates, which do have land on them. And this video, it was some people kayaking, so they're probably in Australia, New Zealand, or the southernmost part of South America. I also found this video of reptilians slipping on ice in Antarctica, and they're apparently from the continent Happus, you can see in the bottom left of the screen, which is just outside the first ice wall. And this video had me wondering, like, yo, why you guys look like you're sneaking around? Is there something underneath the ice that you don't want to wake up? Anyway, if you guys have ever seen this creature in any sort of mythology, could you let me know in the comments or DM me?
When we saw the big wall of ice, we knew we had reached the end of the world. The theory of the wall of ice was that the Earth was flat and surrounded by a massive barrier of frozen water that prevented anyone from escaping. The theory was dismissed by most scientists as a conspiracy, but we were curious enough to find out for ourselves. We were a team of 100 explorers, funded by a wealthy eccentric who believed in the theory. We had traveled across the oceans, the continents, and the polar regions, following the clues and the maps that the theory provided. We had faced many dangers and hardships, but we never gave up. We wanted to see the truth with our own eyes. And there it was, towering over us like a colossal monument. The wall of ice was at least 100 meters high, and it stretched as far as we could see in both directions. It was a sight that filled us with awe and fear. What secrets to camp near the base of the wall, and prepare for the next phase of our expedition. We had brought a drill, a rope, and a camera, among other things. Our plan was to bore a hole through the wall, and see what was on the other side. We hoped to find a new world, a new dimension, or maybe even a new civilization. We worked in shifts, taking turns to operate the drill and monitored the progress. It was a slow and tedious process, but we were patient and determined. We knew we were making history. After 3 days of drilling, we finally broke through. We heard a loud crack, and then a rush of air. We quickly pulled back the drill, and peered into the hole. It was dark and silent. We could not see anything. We decided to send the camera first, attached to the rope. We lowered it slowly, and watched the screen. We expected to see something, anything, but we saw nothing. It was just blackness. We were puzzled and disappointed. Was there nothing beyond the wall? Had we wasted our time and money for nothing? We decided to go in ourselves, and find out. We put on our suits and helmets, and grabbed our flashlights. We tied the rope around our waists, and climbed into the hole. We felt a cold breeze, and a strange sensation. It was like we were entering a different realm. We turned on our flashlights, and looked around. We still could not see anything. It was like we were in a void, a vacuum, a nothingness. We tried to communicate with each other, but we could not hear anything. We tried to communicate with the camp, but we got no response. We were alone, isolated, cut off. We started to panic. We wanted to go back, but we could not find the hole. We had lost our way, our direction, our orientation. We were lost, trapped, doomed. We screamed, but no one heard us. We cried, but no one saw us. We prayed, but no one answered us. We realized that we had made a terrible mistake. We had not reached the end of the world. We had reached the end of everything. When we saw the big wall of ice, we knew we had reached the end of the world. The theory of the wall of ice was that the Earth was flat and surrounded by a massive barrier of frozen water that prevented
These people found the ice wall in Antarctica.
Yeah, so this is the transition from George's Bank to open water. It is tortured here in the middle of the ocean. Look, check out this water. And then in a second, this is going to be glassy clear. What the heck? This is crazy. What did we just go through here? That's insane.
Did you get a video?
Yeah. This is so weird.
Footage from Land Beyond Ice Wall. 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 Footage from Land
Then the ice starts to go from smooth to starting to break up here.
Like, where are we right now? What planet is this? Just take a full picture. Like how that Earth is meeting the glacier. See that interesting shape?
Oh wow,
It's
yeah.
making-
Just mesmerized. I've never seen terrain like this.
It's so insane, isn't it? How? Because this is right at the edge of it. It's pools of water
And full ice, like cold. I don't even know what
like nothing you've ever seen.
nothing like nothing.
It blows away anything we've seen so far.
Oh man, the ice below us is that's like the Grand Canyon of ice.
Yep.
Just like blown away looking up at the walls and the peaks next to us.
I lived in an old house. It had fireplaces in every room except the bathroom. The realtor told me that the fireplace cannot be used because it wasn't built properly. I thought it was strange. The Tartarian fireplaces did not burn. Fireplaces were as spectacular as the buildings they stood in today. The fireplaces themselves were not designed to burn anything. The chimneys were not used to draw smoke out of the fireplace.
Dude, what is this right here? This is a ice wall monster? I don't know. Check it out. I mean, it could be Godzilla for all we know. Like a frozen megalodon.
They woke up a giant beyond the ice wall.
Pay close attention. He's in Antarctica, right next to the ice wall.
You're gonna want to see. It is stretching.
Pay close attention. He's in Antarctica, right next to the ice wall.
You're gonna want to see.
Y'all, they are putting it right in our faces.
This beach is not a beach. It's actually a glacier.
a drop-off that went down between 5 and 6 meters, so not too deep. And at the bottom, there was black sand. Down at the bottom, it felt like I was floating in the stars, in the sparkles. It was totally crazy. Totally crazy. It's incredible.
That's good.
It's like beautifully sculpted marble. The ice is so pure. It's extraordinary. But after about 200 meters, shapes start appearing on the screen. And what I'm seeing, about 20 meters below, is a geological interface that's very strong, very clear. This beach is not a beach, it's actually a glacier. There's a significant amount of ice that's trapped in the valley and no longer moving. This beach is not a beach, it's actually a glacier.
When you go below the ice, you sort of drop down this drilled hole down into the world below. All of a sudden you're sort of looking out on this incredible vista. The water is gin clear and you can see for hundreds of meters this really remarkable and beautiful ice landscape, just shards and sculptures of ice, and populated by these really vibrantly coloured, fascinating and often quite large animals. It's a completely alien world, and even the sounds that you hear as well just kind of add to that, because you can hear the chinking of the ice and you do feel like you visited another planet. I was for the most part up on the top, kind of being the dive supervisor and the director, and there is just one tiny little hole that gives you access back to your world, and you really feel that when you go down. There is definitely that sense of trepidation and incredible nervousness if something were to go wrong. So I'd be up there in the dive hut and everything would be, very, very quiet, and then all of a sudden you'd hear this kind of like big sort of snort and splash as
These people just found a mysterious entrance in Antarctica. Check this out. There's a green land near the entrance, like a bush where there are lots of... Could this be it? Known as the Summer Gate, the gate that's only visible during the summertime, when some parts of the ice are melted. These people just found a mysterious entrance.
An Antarctic explorer who lives at the edge of the Earth not only saw everything with his own eyes, but also managed to secretly film the dome supports and other strange things. His video will follow, but first I will voice his story. I was part of the 47th closed Antarctic expedition in 2002. When I was included in a research group that was heading inland, the driver of their car got sick, and I replaced him. Before starting the trip, the head of the expedition instructed me and forced me to sign a non-disclosure agreement. He told me to forget everything I was taught in school, that the Earth is a sphere. It is flat as your frying pan, and we are on the edge of it. Everything is covered with a dome. Don't tell anyone about what you'll see there in the ice. We were also prohibited from taking photos or making videos there. We drove south for 6 days until we reached a wide river with unfrozen water. The head of the group forbade touching the water, saying that there was radiation. But what was on the other side of the river gave me goosebumps. There was a massive metal support about 2 kilometers high. The leader said that such supports are installed around the Earth every 53 kilometers. Supporting the dome? What dome? I asked. Watch carefully, he said. Indeed, if you look closely, you can see that the sky looks like glass or blue plastic. And from time to time, fireballs flew by, rapidly soaring up the surface of the dome. I pretended to go to the toilet and slid behind an ice floe. I started shooting on an old hidden mobile phone. However, the phone was old and the camera was bad. This is what I managed to capture. Now skeptics probably can't wait to print comments.
Oh, it's a fake, an old phone, a bad camera. But there is one catch.
I would have thought the same thing if I hadn't stumbled across the following video. This video was shot from the same angle, from the same river, but not on an old phone and not in 2002. It was in 2017, and the quality is excellent. Two videos from different sources. Of course, they could all fantasize, but the most curious thing is that they all fantasize the same way. An Antarctic explorer who lives...
This very strange video is circling the internet. It was supposed to be this very strange phenomena happening in the middle of the ocean. A couple of people inside of a boat captured it on camera. I'm going to show you guys the entire video. Some people are relating this to underwater volcanoes, but I'm not exactly sure if this is the case. I'm going to show you guys the video. You tell me what you think is going on here. Check this out.
Guys, I'm right here over Salt Lake City right now, right? We're on the plane. Look at that right there. Look like they did a letter I or something. They're doing it, guys.
Bruh, I can't make this shit up. They always told us that it ain't shit down there in Antarctica. So I decided to see for my goddamn self. So you know I have to touch down and see the situation in a random location, you know? So I touched down at this random ass military research base. And if you notice, it ain't no fucking snow nowhere. It's just dirt. I always look down when I'm on Google Maps to see who the cameraman is and to see what the fuck they looking at. And I noticed they looking at something in the sky over there. What the fuck is that? I ain't the smartest fellow in the ghetto, but to me, that shit looks like a NASA space shuttle or space cruiser or something like that. So why the fuck this shit just flying around Antarctica, just chilling, just flying in just regular airspace? So as I'm mobbing through Antarctica, I notice it's a whole fucking group of rando bandos over here. Like, who the fuck living here? I mean, this whole communities. Y'all tell us ain't shit out there. And when we look from the top of the map, we don't see shit. But it's a whole community over here. Google Map, explain what the fuck going on.
Footage that I came across today reveals just that it is something very mysterious looking. It does not look exactly like the moon. It may be, but it's really huge. You're gonna have to just see it to believe it. I'm gonna let you guys watch it. Let me know what you think. I do believe this is very near where the firmament meets the earth. I could be wrong, but it's just really cool footage. I want to share it before it gets deleted.
Inşallah bir kurur batarya.
Footage that I came across today reveals just that. It is something very mysterious looking. It does not look exactly like the moon. It may be, but it's real.
So you find it hard to believe that there are no...
People don't believe me when I say I come from a colony in Antarctica. They be like, but it's not ice around you. Bro, it is 2024. And if you seriously believe that Antarctica is just full of ice, I don't know what to tell you, because you need to do your research. Because why do you think Antarctica has a flag? If you want to know how many people live here, it's about 3 million. Not that big. But that's just in my colony though. In the other colonies it's like, the total population of Antarctica, a little less than Norway maybe, it's like 7 million overall. But where I stay, it's only 3 million. And the reason why not a lot of people live here is because it's pretty expensive. I'm not even gonna lie. It is fairly expensive. But trust me, the living quality here is it is superb. Free healthcare. We basically got free internet too. We can drink water straight from the tap. It is mineral rich. There is nothing wrong with the water. If you wanna live here when you're older, do it, because I recommend it. But as a young man, I ain't gonna lie. It is tough out here. it is tough. If you want to live here when you're older, do it, because it's totally worth it. People don't believe me when I say I come from a colony in Antarctica. They be like,
we have 1.5 miles to go to set the new world record, and for the first time I can actually see the ice barrier. Oh, about half a mile to go and the ice barrier is now clearly visible in front of us.
Well, we made it. We've just set a new world record for the most southerly point ship has ever reached in the world.
You're absolutely right. Finally, I'm in so my bedroom. Finally, amazing. Wow. God. Really? Wow. Hey, this big fish. And I'm Kasibi. Wow. Finally, me who's in fantastic. But the room my friend, we compliment you in my see. Wow. And they are still singing. Wow, see.
Terrifying things found in Antarctica. A blood lake. Strangely shaped heads. Pyramids that have never been explored. 450,000-year-old creature found 6 to 5 under the ice. Terrifying things found in Antarctica.
Anybody know who Willie Lynch was? Anybody? Raise your hand. No one? He was a vicious...
This video has been posted on the dark web under the title, The Exclusive Truth of the Dark Web. The name itself says a lot. What are we to understand with this video? And what are these strange things? The problem with dark web videos is that they are posted anonymously, so it's impossible to know more, but the end will reveal a terrible thing.
to tell you a number of things, but you really only have to remember two words. Governments lie. Very important to remember. Governments lie. I mean, not just the American government. Governments in general lie. Now, when I say all governments lie, that may sound like an anarchist statement. The anarchist.
This video has been posted on the dark web under the title, The Exclusive Truth of the Dark Web.
I can't even make this up. They found the entrance to the Antarctica ice wall portal dimensional rift endgame. And this is where all the aliens reside that eat everybody. I can't even make this up. They found the entrance to the Antarctica ice wall portal dimensional rift endgame. And this is where all the aliens reside that eat everybody. I can't even make this up.
Alright everybody, I'm back. I'm not banned anymore, and I've got an amazing story to tell you about the first ever ice wall explorer in the late 1700s, Mr. William Morris. Now this entire story comes from written accounts that have been hidden for hundreds of years up until recently, when the author Nos Confunden wrote about his story after coming across what he had found beyond the ice wall and what he had to go through to come back and tell the story to the whole world without triggering another great reset. Now this story begins when William Morris's crew sailed all the way to Antarctica looking for the rumored Summer's Gate, which is supposedly an opening in the ice wall that only appears when it gets hot enough for the ice to melt and a boat to go through. Once they got over there, they actually did find a crack in the ice wall big enough for a boat to sail through, but they were too scared to go in. But it didn't even matter at that point because they were already too close and it sucked them through. Once they emerged the other side, they came across a vast new ocean as well as a red boat. That's all they described it as, just that it was red and that they had never seen anything like it before. The boat then blew a siren that was so loud and was hurting everyone on the crew, but I guess once they found out that William Morris and his crew were not a threat, that they let them onto their boat and they spoke to them and basically told them that William Morris and his crew escaped enslavement from the actual bad people in the world, and that these lands that were outside of the ice wall are actually the peaceful place, and that where we live is the place that there are evil leaders running everything. The captain in the red boat said that he was from the Ancestral Republic and that they had been trying to liberate the people from the Middle Earth area in the inner ice wall continents for hundreds of years, but they have not been able to because they keep causing great resets where the entire population is basically wiped out and the rest of the people are made in baby making factories and they're grown in a lab and stuff, like the Cabbage Patch Kid stuff. So after William Morris found out that he basically made it out of enslavement by living beyond the ice wall, he stayed there for 10 years, but he just eventually went crazy with all this amazing stuff that he was discovering, all these new technologies and how good life could be for most people, that he actually went back to Earth, the middle region, and was telling people about everything that he had seen, but he had to keep it as secretive as possible so that he doesn't cause another great reset and for all of humanity to be wiped out. But yeah, that's the entire story about this guy. What do you guys think? Is it possible that this might actually be a true story? Could it be so crazy that this all actually exists and that there are secret continents in hidden areas everywhere else? Also, if you want to help me out to go raise money to explore Antarctica, Go to my link in bio and buy a shirt. Every shirt that I sell, I make $10 off. Alright everybody, I'm back. I'm not banned anymore, and I've got an amazing story to tell you about the